Hello, gamers, and welcome to Not Another Update, a weekly news podcast by NextPlay Australia, recapping and discussing the latest video game news of the week. I'm your host, Brad, and joining me today is Jamie
Hello.
and Berto.
Hello.
How are we, guys? It's the first podcast back in, well, for the year. How are we feeling?
No technical difficulties whatsoever. Smooth sailing. It's all good.
Yeah, feeling great. It's a great time to start with all the games coming out now.
Yes, well, it is good to get back with my friends and talk games. Now, before we get into the show, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to keep up to date with our latest video content. Or if you're watching on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to follow us so you get notified of every new episode. Everything you need is linked below. And with housekeeping out of the way, let's get into the show. All right, so we usually cover multiple news topics in Not Another Update, but because this topic is massive, we are only going to cover this one. So, Summer Game Fest was over the weekend, and of course, either side of Summer Game Fest, everyone else decided to have their own presentation of upcoming games and game announcements. We're going to be talking about the main four of the week, which was the State of Play, which kicked off the slew of announcements, plus Summer Game Fest over the weekend, Xbox Game Showcase at the start of this week, and of course, Nintendo Direct, which happened last night as of recording. So, let's start with State of Play. We had major releases and release date announcements, including Control Resonance release date, which is September 24. Wolverine got a massive gameplay showing and a release date of September 15th. Silent Hill Townfall got a release date of September 24th. Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis has a release date of February 12th. Until Dawn 2 was announced, and that is out next year. And of course, God of War Laufey, God of War Laufey was announced. The new God of War game, which has no release window, but we did get quite a lengthy showing of it. So, the State of Play, I reckon, was a pretty good way to start the week. It has some really big titles announced, plus a lot of release dates that we were waiting for this year. Shall we talk about God of War Laufey first?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
All right. So, God of War Laufey, I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but it's okay. um, the end of the State of Play was, I think it was almost half an hour of just straight up the start of the game. Like it seemed like the first 30 minutes of the game, no cuts, just what we're
Straight from the
going to
menu.
expect. Yeah. How did you feel about Kratos not being the main character? Jamie.
I don't. I don't particularly mind it at all. I personally think, unless they take Kratos' story in a different direction, which it sounds like they will in future releases, his kind of tale sort of came to its own conclusion in a sort of similar sense of like how Nathan Drake's story is like tied up, but he's still there. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
I think taking it in a different direction, it's exploring a lot of lore, and my guess would be this would tie in to how they start going to different realms. So this whole thing is getting taken place within the after sort of the death where everyone goes when they die from the gods. So the afterlife of the gods, and that seems interesting. In the video, I believe they were also talking about how it's like from every different mythology is all up there if they've passed away.
Yeah.
So my guess, maybe something breaks loose, and that's how like we start exploring different mythologies. A lot of rumors of Egypt and everything like that, which I think would be really awesome to explore. Love the look of the combat. To be honest, as a big DMC fan, I got a lot of Bayonetta DMC vibes from it.
Yeah.
And the visuals look really cool as well. Like this whole new area you could explore magical creatures. They're really sort of leaning into the different colors. Looks super vibrant. So, um, I have a lot of faith in Santa Monica, and I'm very keen to see what they do with the new character.
The world looked more alive to me, especially like the plant monsters that they encountered in the trailer. Um, but the world looks vastly, not vastly different. It's a different setting, but it still looks like a God of War game and a God of War setting
Mm.
that we saw in the last two games. And I think this change of setting is going to benefit God of War Laufey because God of War and God of War Ragnarok was kind of set in a similar location. Well, it basically was, but like I feel like Ragnarok did do a good job of making it feel different. So I'm looking forward to exploring maybe some architecture and stuff that wasn't necessarily in God of War and Ragnarok. So I think it's going to be a good change of pace. Berto, what did you think of God of War Laufey?
I was pretty positive on everything. The only, like, say, negatives though I'd have, like in inverted commas, negatives, would be the fact that I feel like we shouldn't have seen that much. I loved the God of War reboot at the beginning when we didn't know anything, right? And then when you,
Yeah,
who's it that you fight? Boulder, is that right? Um,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that whole fight was like so cool, like,
it
and I feel
was.
like
yeah.
we're already starting to
We've
see
se-
that.
we've seen that first like show-stopping fight of
Mm,
the game already.
yeah.
Mm.
Additionally, the only big concern that I had, and it's not that Kratos isn't in it, it's more about the cube, in my opinion. Um, I feel like Sony games always seem to have that side character all the
Mm,
time, and I have no doubt that the cube's going to help me solve some puzzles involving probable cubes as well. So we'll have a
mm.
whole like, you know, osmosis effect really with it. But I hope they do something a little bit different. I hope it looks different with the combat, like double jumps and
Mm,
everything like that. It's very different. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, my only concern is those two things, like that whole Marvel quip type sidekick again. I hope it's not always like that. If it's serious, it looks really damn serious. Um,
Mm,
Sad we're not playing as Kratos, but this looks great. And I think Kratos' game, like Jamie said, it's going to tie up in the end. I reckon we'll see it 6 years from now or even longer, unfortunately, but it'll happen.
yeah, I do feel like this game is going to have more of a whimsical feel to it. Um, Especially because of the cube. Who is voiced by Jack Quaid from The Boys, which is
Huey.
awesome.
Mm.
Yeah, I love it. I find the cube charming in the little portion that we saw of him. I just
Mm.
hope he
Then we have
doesn't get
the ribbons as well
annoying.
talking as well.
Yes, the ribbons. Who I forgot the name of that, but
Same.
Yeah. Question:
it
does anyone know if this is considered the next like main entry, or was that not really clarified? Like, is this a sort of spin off on the way there, or
um
I
I
think
would
it's the main
I
entry.
I think it's main. Like it yeah, it feels main because it's like
Mm.
I mean, it's kind of set during God of War 2018,
hmm.
which isn't couldn't be classified as a prequel because it's happening at the same time. Um yeah, that's a good question. I don't think they've clarified that, but like I'm not sure what the next God of War game after Ragnarok would be.
I think this will lead into it. I think it'll run concurrent because, like, when you consider the afterlife, right,
Mm,
there is no such thing as time, right? So
Yeah.
as you're playing through the game, perhaps you'll encounter visions of what Kratos and what's his boy name? What's his son name? Atreus.
Atreus.
What they're doing, and you will actually be able to like probably even intervene in that sort of like aspect. You know, little things
Mm,
that you might not have noticed in the game could work in this game, like divine intervention to a certain degree. Like that excites me. The idea that it runs parallel, and little did you know that you probably have affected the adventure along the way. Perhaps.
yeah. It'll also be interesting to see how much Kratos we get in the game because we already saw him in the trailer.
I think we'll get him a
Faye
lot.
kind of envisions him. So it's gonna be cool to see. Well, like we haven't really seen Kratos and Faye really interact much. So I am really keen to see uh that dynamic. All right. Do we want to talk about Wolverine now?
Oh
I'll
yeah.
talk about Wolverine. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. We got, I want to say, like a 15 to 20-minute trailer showcasing combat, the massive amount of like gore and decapitation Wolverine is capable of, which I thought was sick. I
Mm,
love it.
yeah.
It's I don't want to like talk badly on the Spider-Man games because I think they are incredible, but
Yep.
I felt the combat in those got repetitive a lot.
Yep.
For me anyway. Um, and it feels like it won't feel that way in Wolverine because I can't see Wolverine being an open world game.
No, I
I
feel like it's going to be more like a sort of Uncharted,
s-
like you're in this
story
location.
focus linear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get anyway.
Have they mentioned
Yeah.
if it is or if it isn't?
I feel like they would have mentioned it in that gameplay trailer if it was.
I think I just, from memory, I remember them mentioning like, oh, you can approach situations however you want, but I feel like it will be more of a sort of, the earlier Uncharted games where it would be like a sort of combat area. You tackle them
Yeah.
how you wanted, either stealth, whatever, and then you sort of move to the next story moment. That's the vibes I get from the gameplay at least.
That's what I'm getting from it too. And I hope that's the case.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be another open world game.
I also
No.
don't know how they do an open world game. Spider-Man got away with it because he can web sling across the city.
Mm.
Wolverine would just have to, I don't know,
Logan
get
will
in
just
a
run
Uber.
everywhere.
It looks like he's running
Yeah,
and climbing and jumping and
yeah.
everything.
So yeah, that is coming out in September, which is a packed month, which we might talk about at the end. Um, Silent Hill Townfall is out
Hmm.
on September 24th. We got another trailer for that too. Berto, you are a big Silent Hill fan, I believe. Uh,
Yeah.
what
Still am.
what did you think of Townfall's latest showing?
I think it just shows that they're moving away from the Silent Hill setting and using
Mm,
Silent Hill more as like a title. You know what I mean? So like Silent Hill, this story, and it's completely different to everything else.
it's
Um,
now just a psychological horror with fog.
correct, correct. The Silent Hill is in your mind, right? Losing the
Yeah,
plot. Um, I like I like it. It looks horrifying to a certain degree. It really does, and it looks like you don't really have any weapons. I don't think I ever saw them pick up anything. I just remember seeing him getting swamped by all these weird alien monsters. But
yeah.
yeah, it seems a little bit more psychological than action. Um, definitely want to see a little bit more. It's great. I reckon it's great that it's come back and their games have been quite solid. Um,
Mm.
and they're selling quite well. So hopefully they continue the franchise forward. And it's cool.
I
I
beg,
like it.
I beg to differ. I was lukewarm on Silent Hill F, so I hope this is a more traditional Silent Hill experience for me.
Yeah.
Um, it just, yeah. I liked the Japanese setting in Silent Hill F, but towards the end, it was just dragging on so much, and the combat was not fun for me
Yeah.
at all. So, um, we shall see. Lastly, we will talk about Until Dawn 2, which is coming out next year. I feel like when the trailer first started playing and you saw like a bunch of teenagers or college kids with that distinct Until Dawn art style, you kind of knew like they weren't going to survive whatever was going to happen to them. And I am cautiously optimistic on Until Dawn 2. I think not as many of these types of games are hitting as hard as back when Until Dawn came out. And I think perhaps the last best horror choose your adventure was The Quarry. Um, I do love the Dark Pictures games, but I don't think they're at the same level as The Quarry or Until Dawn are. Jamie, what did you think of the Until Dawn 2 showing?
I thought it was a shocker. Like, I definitely didn't see them randomly doing an Until Dawn 2. Makes
Mm,
sense. Thing is, they had the film come out. They really want to use that IP for some reason. Even though I don't think it has a massive clamoring fan base, but I could be wrong with that. Um, the plot seemed interesting. Doesn't It's like what they're doing with the Silent Hill, right? They're just bringing the name across and just doing their own sort of story. Like, aside from horny teenagers, not really any other thing that sort of crosses over with the previous one. I think the
mm,
psychiatrist that was in Until Dawn randomly appeared near the end of the trailer from memory.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
which, like, again, I guess he's going to be the through point of why these stories are Until Dawn. Uh,
Mm,
I'll probably wait for reviews. I wouldn't say I was like blown away by it. It just looks like another teenage horror thing. Which, don't get me wrong, they're fun. Like you said, Brad. I love the original Until Dawn. I haven't got around to the Quarry yet, and I haven't played the Dark Pictures games. But
mm,
Until Dawn was a lot of fun. So I'm hoping this one's good. The interesting plot. Like, it looks like at least the horror elements of the random island that's gone untouched. Like, they're all a bunch of ghost hunters, and they're just sort of like faking it for views until they stumble upon something real. So
mm.
um, I will wait for more, but I wouldn't say I was like blown away from it. Aside from the shock factor of, oh, I didn't see a sequel coming.
Yeah. It is interesting to note that the developer is Fire Sprite, who before this made the Horizon Call of the Mountain
Oh, the
PlayStation VR
VR,
2 game.
Oh, did they?
interesting.
Yeah, so it's not Supermassive returning, which is fine because they're kind of just doing their own thing now and they're pumping out some pretty good horror games. Um, it's just hard. Like, you need a developer, and I'm sure they're great developers, but there's no uh, resume for a horror game in in any of what they've done.
Hmm.
They've previously developed The Persistence, actually, which is a survival horror game, but
That's
I've never heard of it. Air Force Special Ops Nightfall Run, Sackboy Run on PlayStation Vita, and
I
The
don't remember that one.
Playroom, which was for PlayStation Camera. So
Oh, the Playroom.
I I believe they must work with a lot of like peripherals, like VR and handhelds. So this is looks to be their first like major work that they're releasing. So it'll be interesting. It is
concerning.
concerning, but I feel like PlayStation Studios would still guide them in the right direction, you would hope.
I would hope. Yeah, it's a big brand now.
Yeah. All right, so quickly, what do we think of the state of play overall? Jamie.
Before I say it, just quickly, I just want to say it was good to see Rayman come back. Um,
Yeah.
Yes.
I've always wanted a new one. I'm so shocked that they sat on Rayman for so long because Origins and Legends, both some of the best 2D platformers within the last like decade or so.
Yeah.
Why it's like a remake of it, I would have preferred probably a new one just to let them go super creative. I think they're also adding new levels as well, so that's at least something.
Yeah.
Data play really impressed me until the whole weekend started going. Like, it's still up there as probably one of my favorites from the weekend, but it definitely was probably one of the better state of plays for a while from memory.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of it
been a
was
while.
consistently like going along. Like it felt like there was something every couple of games, like something really big. So I prefer when they do stated plays like this. Maybe hold some of the stuff back, and just when you actually have a lot to say, then come out and say it.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like I think the state of play was definitely best shown first out of the four because if it was like after Summer Game Fest and the Xbox one, I feel like I mean God of War still would have made splashes, but um it wouldn't have been as impressive if it came after the next two. Berto, what did you think?
We always seem to all be on the same page. Honestly, out of it's probably my second least favorite one now that I've seen all four.
Mm,
But that doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just the other ones were so much better. I enjoyed seeing God of War finally. Wolverine, so violent, so good. Um,
mm.
yeah, it was good. It was good for what they had to do. Just let's hope they don't take too long for the next one because I think it has been quite a while.
Yeah, I think the last one was don't quote me. I'm pretty sure it was January or February. It was at the start of the year, and I could not tell you what was in it. Um
Yeah,
all
I
right,
forget.
next.
Very memorable.
Next, yeah. Next is Summer Game Fest, where we saw Resident Evil Veronica, the remake of Resident Evil Code Veronica, was announced and it's coming out next year. We got uh, a teaser for Cuphead 2, plus a side game they're working on, which is like a retro platformer called Mighty Cuphead Adventure. Stranger Than Heaven, made by RGG Studios of Yakuza fame. That is out in January next year. Guild Wars 3 was announced, and that is out next year. The Wolf Among Us 2 rose up from the grave, and that is confirmed to be coming out next year too, plus a remastered version of the first game at the end of this year. Stellar Blade's sequel, Blood Rain, was also announced. And of
Yeah,
course, it's what we've all been waiting for. The third and final part of the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. It is Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Berto, I'm going to jump to you. What stood out for you in this showcase?
usually when we watch Jeff's show, it doesn't hit those peaks. Like there seems to be
Mm,
more, downtime if anything, and then the high highs aren't that great. But I reckon he smashed it out of the park instantly. I think it was quite consistent throughout. It had a lot of things. Obviously, there was a bit of filler, but all of them had it. But to start on Code Veronica, like
massive.
awesome, yeah, fantastic, and then to end on Final Fantasy VII, and it wasn't just a normal ending. Usually it's a trailer. It was more than that.
Yeah,
Trailer, in-depth analysis, and then
yeah.
it just kept going, and there were interviews afterwards and stuff like that. So yeah, I think as a whole, I think this was great. I think he did great. Like it was genuinely a good show.
I do think Jeff actually takes on the criticism of his previous show to make the next show better.
Yeah, I agree with
He
that.
will be hosting another show in August for Gamescom opening night live, so I think that's more of a less of a Jeff show and more of a let's just talk about games. And then obviously he has the Game Awards at the end of the year, which I'm sure we'll see many of these games there as well. Jamie, what did you think of Summer Game Fest?
It was really strong going. As Bodo said, straight out of the gate. It had good stuff throughout the entire show. I don't watch these live, as I've said on the show previously, so I skip through the things that aren't interesting to me, and I was stopping most of the way through. Like, it was great to see Wolf Among Us again. Like, I audibly went yes when he rocked up. So I'm glad we actually heard something about that. But it was like heaps of games. I'm not sure. Are we going through games now? Because I could list shit off easy.
Yeah, if you want.
Listed.
Well, yeah, I'm as you know, I know Brad's also keen for Wolf Among Us, so I won't
Yeah,
linger on Final Fantasy VII. It's great to see it. I know Brad's going to talk about that one, but couple of
absolutely.
ones for me. I was late to the party on Alien Isolation.
Yeah,
Fantastic game.
it's a good
I
payout. Yeah.
I think they had already teased that there was going to be a sequel earlier this
Mm,
year, but it was nice to get it sort of confirmed and then sort of discuss it a little bit. So I'm really
yeah,
interested in that. Um, Two other ones I just want to mention. Gen Atlas. I don't know what the hell is
Yeah.
going on in the damn
Looks
thing, but
so
like with the
good.
mind of Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, and Last Guardian, like, I'm in. You just need to put them on the screen. I'm going to see what the hell this is about. It looks
Yeah.
yeah,
wacko, but I just assume it's going to have a really powerful story behind it. The other one, which I knew nothing about, Crossfire. Just the way they presented it. It was a sort of the shooter where it's like two different people coming together, and when they had the studio, the people from the studio come out and start talking about it, I just got big vibes of Spec Ops: The Line, which is like one of my all-time favorite. Like, if you're talking narrative shooters,
Mm.
mm,
phenomenal game. If you haven't played Spec Ops: The Line, it sounds like it's trying to hit those highs in terms of like a story. This high, a lot of shooters these days, let's be honest, Call of Duty, Battlefield, I don't even bother with the campaigns anymore because it just feels like really just paint by numbers. Where this feels like it's trying to do
yeah,
something different. This is definitely on my radar now that I'm going to continue to see, and hopefully, if it can reach anything narratively that Spec Ops did, I will be all for this one.
yeah. Um, is that all the games you wanted to mention?
They're probably my main ones from the show, but like I said, overall, I thought it was a fantastic show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. So let's quickly talk about The Wolf Among Us 2.
Yeah.
I can't remember what year this was initially. Like, I feel like it was 2024
Definitely like two or three,
that
I feel.
it was initially slated for release. So when 2025 came and gone and we heard absolutely nothing about it,
Lots of
thought
rumors too.
yeah, I thought the game was dead. I thought we'd never see it. So although we didn't get too much about it, I am like I don't need too much because we kind of know what we're getting with The Wolf Among Us. And I have not played the first one for probably pre-COVID, so I'm keen to pick up the remaster and replay it
Yeah.
when
It's
that
been a while.
comes out.
Yeah, same here.
So just quickly on Telltale, I was stalking their Facebook page because they just came up on my home feed. Um, they were answering questions in one of their posts about The Wolf Among Us 2. And someone asked about whether they were going to make any more games for The Walking Dead or anything. And apparently, they do not have the rights to that anymore. So there's zero plans for anything. We won't see any more Walking Dead, which, like, there was definitely.
That's okay though.
Cap-
I
it
think
is
the
okay.
brand's
It had
kind
a
of
run.
faded, hasn't it?
I
Well, I
enjoyed
feel like they
every
fit.
Walking Dead game.
I agree with that. I do feel like Clem's story was kind of done, and like
Clem's
she
Yeah.
story
was that
was,
through
yeah.
that through line throughout it. So I'm fine with that personally.
Yeah, it is fine. It's just interesting. I didn't know they lost the rights to The Walking Dead, so the more you know.
Hmm.
Let's talk about Resident Evil Veronica,
Mm.
the opener of the show. Uh, heavily speculated and rumored for a remake for at least the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And Capcom have delivered and announced it. I am so excited. I have not played the original though, but I plan on doing so very soon. I love Claire Redfield. I love Chris Redfield, so it's a no-brainer. I'm probably going to love the game. What did you think of the reveal trailer, Berto?
It There's something about Capcom games that you can quickly identify if it's a Capcom game, right?
Yeah, it's that
And
RE
Yep.
engine.
yes, it is that polish.
Yeah,
Um, so obviously it shows first person. So again, are we doing first person? Are we doing that choice again of first and third?
I don't think they will ever force us into one perspective anymore. I think they'll give us options every game from now on because it was
I think so.
so highly praised with Requiem, and obviously they added third person to Village in an update quite after the initial release. So I mean, it for me, I would definitely play it in third person because I feel like that's what I don't know. It feels like more authentically Resident Evil to me.
Yeah,
I'm kind of glad they're not doing the fixed cameras still. Although we don't know that, do we? They might
yeah,
still
they
keep
might.
it as fixed cameras.
I
Um,
doubt it though.
yeah, no. I think that is just may not work for the general public these days. I enjoy it. I enjoy it with the old games. I probably just don't want it with the new ones.
Yeah.
Um, Jamie, you have
And
not
very
played
behind
much
on Resident
Resident
Evil.
Evil, have you?
I did get the vibe straight away that it was a Resident Evil game, just like Birdo said. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm very behind in the series. I'm those playing at home. I like playing the older games before playing the more recent stuff. So I think I'm up to Resident Evil 2, which is a little bit away from that. I believe this was released on PS2, so probably around that era is when it was actually released anyways. But
yeah.
um, I still want to catch up on a bunch of it. It looks cool. I've heard nothing but good things about the game from people that have played it.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm,
but
Has
it's
anyone
just one
played
of
it? Have
those.
we all played it? Veronica? No.
no,
No,
no. I think only you, Berto.
No, I never got to play fully because
Oh,
I
okay.
I
Well,
never had a
we none of us
Dreamcast.
have.
No, because it was
Yeah,
on the
okay.
Dreamcast, and Dreamcast went under. And then it got available to PlayStation, and as soon
PS2.
as I saw it, I was like, "Sweet as." Yeah,
Yeah,
it
right.
looks good. When time allows me to catch up on the series, I will.
by the
I will
time
try.
you're ready, they would have remade them
Resident Evil
all.
28. Yeah,
No, but this is good for you because you're getting the best versions of all the Resident Evil games.
yeah. The
When you think
problem
about it,
is, like, I've bought them on PS3 to play, and then they didn't, and then I bought them on PS4 to play, and they didn't, and now I'm
yeah,
slowly chipping away about buying them for PS5. So I am working
exactly.
my way
See,
through it. But yeah, it looks good. But again, I have so much other stuff to play. It's just probably something I'm not going to get to.
You heard it here first, folks. Jamie is going to play Resident Evil Veronica after Resident Evil Village remake has been
Mhm.
released.
Yep. The remake of Code Veronica is
remake
what
of
I'm able to
Yes,
get into.
oh man,
yes. I'm going to quickly touch on Guild Wars 3. It's not like a game I'm going to play, but I
mm.
was playing Guild Wars 2 in high school when it first came out, so it is crazy that it's getting a new game. I still follow the page on Facebook and I always see updates and I'm like, damn, people are still playing this game. And they must be to make a third one. So I'm happy for any Guild Wars fans out there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the big one, Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Side note, I did go back and listen to our podcast where we tried to predict the title of the third game.
Yeah.
None of us got it right.
Okay.
I said Final
You
Fantasy
wanted
VII
Requiem.
Requiem. However,
And
I still think they were going to call it that. But when Resident Evil came out, they were like, "Oh no, we need to change it now." Um,
Don't
I
steal
feel
the
like
homework.
Requiem would have been so cool. And the rest of you said Reunion, which I don't think was ever going to happen because Crisis Core was called Reunion. So none of us get any brownie points there.
Damn.
Yeah. All right. So Revelation is coming out in autumn next year, which is less than a year away, which is absolutely crazy,
nuts.
considering how long we had to wait between remake and rebirth. Obviously, that I'm guessing the pandemic played part in that, but I also think they can reuse a lot more assets from rebirth in Revelation because, I mean, it's still the world. But what we saw in the trailer was the new party, which now includes Vincent Valentine and Sid Highwind, and obviously omits a character that died at the end of Rebirth. Um, so we also,
Spoilers.
yeah, I did not say who it was. um, we also saw the High Wind, the airship, in full effect, where you can drive it around the world map and Fortnite skydive down to the
Yeah.
land, which is
That was
cool.
hilarious.
Yeah, but I also don't think they could have like made it so that we could land the airship with all the terrain, and it would have been easier back in the day when the world map was just a plain green strip of grass.
Mm.
um
I just hope we don't have to watch the parachuting every single time I do it. I want to be able to skip that little cut scene and just
No.
land on the beach.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if it's a cutscene or we actually like dive to wherever we want to. Or if we're just hovering over a landmark and we just choose to drop there. Um, that's yet to be seen. However, I did read in an interview where if you're traveling in the airship and you get to the edge of the map, just like the old games, you'll just appear on the other side of the map and keep
No, that's
going,
cool.
which I
Yeah.
think is awesome. Um, Berto, what did
Yeah.
you think of the trailer?
Yeah. About time. Like I've generally like I love Final Fantasy, but I feel a little bit of fatigue with seven because they put it into three games and it's been so
Yeah,
long. Um,
yeah,
so I had a great sense of relief, to be honest. That's
mm,
what it should have been called, Final Fantasy Seven Relief. So I just think I'm already thinking about how they're going to package all three games in one. Right, I'm already picturing the collector's box, the collector's edition
Oh
one.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
all going to come. For the game itself, when he jumped out of the ship like Link and like Fortnite, I thought that was
yeah,
hilarious. Battle system still one of the best RPG battle systems ever. So the fact that they mentioned it, that they've worked on it even more so.
yeah.
I don't know how you can perfect something that's pretty much perfect, right? Um,
Mm.
Mm.
Game looks huge. Hopefully, it's not too many mini games, which is one of the biggest
Okay,
issues that we had.
well, about that, I
There'll be
did
more.
read.
Here
No, I
we go.
did read an interview. There's
Oh,
more mini games because
what was the
it's
card
like
game they had? I love that.
I do hope Queen's Blood does
That's
return
it.
in
That was so good.
Revelation. It is probably my favorite mini game in a video game. Like full stop. It is so captivating to me. Like
Mm. Up
it's
there with
so
Gwent,
good.
easy for me. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
addicted
I
to.
never got into Gwent, but maybe I will when I replay The Witcher 3, which is
Gwent
another
was awesome.
conversation.
Mm.
Yeah. Um yeah, I'm very excited and like Berto, I am ready for it to be over. even though I
In the best
love
way
it so
possible.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it, but like all good things need to come
Like,
to an end,
I
even
love it,
if
but
it
we need
is
to put you
stretched
down.
out.
Well,
Absolutely.
how long has it been now? Like for the whole from the beginning to now, it's been
2020,
like what,
the
12 years.
remake release.
Mm.
But
It's been
from the first time they announced the trailer.
Oh,
oh,
from
then it's
announced.
been a
I couldn't tell
while.
you that.
Yeah.
Google didn't tell me that.
What I mean is now then Square can focus on something else.
Yes.
Like
Final Fantasy
make
15.
Kingdom
Was it
Hearts
14
4.
remake? I think that's what you put.
Uh, I was just trolling, to be honest.
Imagine if they did, though. Great.
No, if they do Final Fantasy 15 remake, I'll quit. Honestly, it has to be 9 or 6. There's
Hmm.
no other. There's no other option.
I think if they do 6, they will just do it in HD 2D, which I will be
Fine.
fine with. And
Yeah,
voice
that's fine.
acting, that would be good. So overall, Summer Game Fest. Oh no, we did share our thoughts at the start of this. Okay, let's go to the Xbox Game Showcase, where
Yep.
we saw Fable's release date got moved, which I think happened prior to the showcase. It's now coming out in February 23rd. Gears of War E-Day is coming out October 6th. Halo Campaign Evolved, which is a remake of the first Halo game, is coming out on July 28th next month. And that is also coming to PS5 as well. Side note, Gears of War E-Day, Xbox exclusive, and apparently they were very far into developing the PS5 version of it, but because of backlash, they've just pulled it completely. Don't have a source, just read about it. Senua has a new game, a more action-focused game, and that is out next year. The beloved Purple Dragon has a new game, Spyro: A Realm Beyond, and that flies onto shelves autumn next year as well. Persona 6 was announced finally, and
It
Persona
exists.
4
Yeah.
Revival has a release date of February 18th. Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy is also coming out in just a couple months on August 27th. Jamie, how did you feel about the Xbox Games Showcase?
Brilliant.
Mm.
Like, it was easily the best one. And that's not
Yeah.
saying the others were bad, like Birdo was saying before. This was just, I don't know if I skipped really anything aside from some of the Final Fantasy like 14 online
Mm.
stuff and like the Fallout 76 stuff that's somehow still going.
Yeah, it
Um,
is still going.
it was an incredible show. Like, it was a lot of teasers, random announcements. I didn't see Spyro coming back. A lot
Mm.
of this is up my alley, like, which is surprising, seeing as I'm mostly a PlayStation gamer. For the most part, most of these are coming to PS5, so I'm happy for that.
Mm.
I'll just list through some of the ones that I enjoyed the most. Obviously, Persona 6. It's something I knew would come at some stage once they were done with the 28 different spin-offs of Persona 5. So it's nice to at least get a teaser. Looks like it's dark as hell. Going
Yeah.
by the little teaser we got,
Real
I'm
dark.
I'm assuming it will still have the charm of the Persona series, but it does look like it's heading to be even darker than Persona 3. But
It
again,
do
with just from that small teaser, who knows?
do you think
Mm.
it might lean towards more metaphors, like darker, more not mature, but like it has that it has a different feel to that.
Mm.
Do you think it's
Obviously,
going
it's
to
just
take place in a high school?
that's a
Isn't
big
that
thing,
its
isn't it?
thing?
Yeah, that's like its main thing that it's always done. Like it
Mm.
feels like it's more going into the roots. Whilst I haven't played much of Shin Megami Tensei, it feels
Mm.
I have been told that is more of the sort of mature, darker version
Yeah.
of Persona. So I sort of got those vibes, at least from what I've been told about that series.
Mm.
But just way too early to tell. But I still like going to class and doing all that shit, which is something I didn't like doing in real life. So like, we'll see what happens. I am very keen for Persona 4 Revival. I've been wanting to know more about it, so to know it's coming out in Feb is good. Little disappointed that Gears isn't coming to PlayStation straight away. I'm still holding out hope that it will come at some point because I also heard those rumors that I think there was also box art rumored to have gone live on like certain retailers, which would then take it down. So it seems like a last minute thing. Unsure if it's going to be something along the lines of like back in the day when it was like Tomb Raider came out and it was like an Xbox exclusive, and it was like a year later, it was on PlayStation. So, um, I am probably the only person that can really speak for Gears here. I've said it
Yep.
before. I would have preferred for the trilogy to be ended with the current one that they were doing and then go to E Day. But
It's the
I
beginning,
do.
eh?
Yeah. So this is like basically before it all, and like I
Is it
understand
was it
why.
Emergence Day? Is that right?
Yeah, this is when all the locusts pop up from the ground and say hi.
Okay.
So like Dom and Marcus are like the main core of the series from the start.
Mm.
Dom is like the heart of everything, and you know Marcus still around to this day. So I understand why they've gone back. They're very popular characters, like in comparison to some of the new ones that they've tried to introduce. Obviously, it hasn't hit the same as the original squad. So I do understand from a marketing perspective why they did that. But as someone that was actually enjoying the most recent trilogy, I wanted to see the end of it, which could now be
Mm.
another like 3-4 years away. Um, Halo, I'm keen to play that. Galpa's all over that goddamn collector's edition. I was going to get it
Yeah.
anyways, but I didn't even know it
Yeah.
existed, and now it's all over eBay. Spyro came back before Banjo Kazooie. Good fun. I am keen to play it though, because I grew up with Spyro and I loved it. The only other one I could really sort of touch on, Senua, as you said, looks more action focused. I kind of felt like her story was done. I know she's touched different emotional trauma throughout those first two adventures. So I am interested to see what they tackle in this, because I felt after the second game sort of got to the end of what she was dealing with in terms of her turmoil with her father and everything like that. So be interesting where they take it in terms of psychosis going forward. One other one, just quickly, Clockwork Revolution. I
Yeah.
think that game looks fantastic, and I am annoyed that
Yes.
it's coming to Xbox exclusive only. That blew me away when I saw it the last time they started showcasing it. It looks brilliant.
Yeah. Berto, what was your top game of the showcase?
State of Decay 3.
Oh, okay.
I absolutely love one. It was such a flawed game. It was so janky, and it essentially it's a zombie game where you build a base and you have a few group of people that you kind of connect with,
Mm,
and then you go out and do little missions, right? But I love it. It was great. And then State of Decay 2 improved on that. Addictive, just addictive gameplay. Kind of like The
Mm-hmm.
Sims, but in a zombie land, right? But it's good to have this one coming. The only problem is that it also coming to the PlayStation 5. I saw at the end. So I was like, sweet, okay, I don't need an Xbox. But I think Xbox, the showcase, this was the best one of the four, in my opinion. Even though I didn't really connect with them all, just the way that it was presented was just solid game. Very little
Mm-hmm.
fluff. It was the first time I actually felt um, Xbox trying to fight for exclusive, like that I hate saying it, but like that console wars kind of like vibe. Like we're going to keep these games, we're going to show you what they look like, just to get you like rolled up and jealous. Kind of like Jamie mentioned before. I'm kind of glad it's got a bit of fight to them. Xbox finally. I love that 25th anniversary, um, old school Xbox. The
Oh
green
yeah,
one, the translucent
looks
one.
sick.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I want one. I never wanted one, but now as soon as I saw that, I was like, sweet, I want it. Like this is the first time Xbox made me feel like I wanted an Xbox, which was, in my opinion, a success in the grand scheme
That's
of
probably
things.
what they were aiming for.
Yeah, but it's good that they had a bit of fight, considering you know we always make fun of them every year. It's good that they actually tried to come back. But again, most of their games are coming to PlayStation now, so we'll see what they do with
Yeah.
this exclusivity and how they change things around. And it's the first one for
Yeah.
the new CEO. What's her name? Asha Sharma, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think she's doing great, like turning things around. So we'll see how far they go. Disappointing.
She's
The only thing as well with Xbox, just quickly, is no Elder Scrolls, but I think that's like a few years out now. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I myself, Spyro was my game of this showcase. I love Spyro so much, and this is the first mainline Spyro game in 18 years, which is crazy that it's been that long
That's
since we've had a
ridiculous.
18.
Spyro game. Yeah,
Old
I'm
enough
not
to
including
drink.
Skylanders. um
No, that was a
yeah,
terrible, terrible one.
Oh
yeah.
god, character
Um
design was
All
horrible.
the toys.
the Spyro is also going to be voiced by the same Spyro voice actor who did Ripto's Rage. So um that's neat, I think, that he's still able to do Spyro's voice. All right, moving on to the last showcase, the Nintendo Direct, where we saw the new Xenoblade Chronicles game announced, and it's called Xenoblade Genesis. A new Final Fantasy game got announced, and it's out in October, and it's called Final Fantasy Resonance. It's a Final Fantasy's first HD 2D video game. Nintendo Switch Sports Resort was announced too, and that's coming out October 22nd as well. Pokemon Pokopia Expansion Pass has been announced because they obviously didn't think that game would do as well as it did. So they didn't. I did not watch this part of the direct, but did they actually say what was going to be in the expansion? I know a free
Underwater, no?
update. Yeah, there was a free update that came out yesterday, but I don't know if
Oh,
that
maybe that
was.
was that.
Yeah. We also got another new look at Kingdom Hearts 4. Praised be, it still exists. And of course, gaming's worst kept secret, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, has a remake, and that is out later this year.
Mm.
No month yet. Well, let's talk about Ocarina first. None of us were obviously surprised by this because it was definitely in the last month or so, it was getting around that it was a thing.
Hmm.
I didn't expect it to be coming out this year, though.
Oh yeah, that shocked me.
There's been some mixed reception on the remake. Everyone wanted an Ocarina of Time remake, but when they're getting one, some people aren't happy about it.
What's the mixed opinions?
I haven't really. I try to stay out of the negative vibes online these days, but I feel like it might have to do with the art style. It kind of looks like what if
That is one
Ocarina
argument, yeah,
of
that I've heard.
Time was made in Unreal Engine 5. I
Yeah, well,
I liked when Link popped up sleeping in the bed. I liked what I saw. Like, I thought
mm.
Link looked great. I think the graphics look great, and um, like we obviously need to see more because that was
Yeah, it
just
was like
like
6 seconds. Like,
literally,
man, the
yeah,
internet is
nothing. It was
interesting.
nothing.
Mm.
But I'm
There's a
very
joke that I had
excited.
about it.
So my first time playing Ocarina of Time was on the 3DS. So I did not own a Nintendo 64, so I did not play it originally. But I feel still nostalgic about this, and I'm very excited to play it again because I haven't played it since I did play it on 3DS, which would have been over 10 years ago now, definitely. Um, Jamie, what did you think of it? You haven't played Ocarina, have you?
Not finished. I've played
Okay.
some. Yeah.
Okay. You
What'd
Yes.
you get
stopped
up
at the
to?
water temple.
Yeah,
I
he
I
did, didn't you?
I did not get super far into it.
Mm.
I just remember I had got to the place where you had to find all the chickens. I can't remember if I told that story here or not. I
Here we
You
go.
know-
must have said it on
yeah,
your other podcast.
Yeah, your
probably,
chicken
yeah, no.
podcast.
No, I remember I was in my mate's man cave and I hooked the 3DS up to their like surround sound system. And let's just say I was a little out of it that day. And apparently I was just there playing for hours and all people could hear was the chickens of
Oh
me
my
trying to
God.
find all and flying around with them. And I did not make much progress at all because I was quite inebriated at the time. But yeah, fond memories. I've always wanted to hit the end credits on it. So, as someone that, as I've told you both, considering to finally getting a Switch 2 very, very soon, I am very hyped to see this coming out this year, and I'll definitely be picking it up. The only real other one that really jumped out at me was Final Fantasy Resonance. Looks stunning. Like, I know Dragon Quest
Beautiful.
has been doing the similar art style, but something about the way that it was done in this, and then like the sort of 3D but like 2D HD like cutscenes that they sort of were doing as well. Like
Mm,
I just thought it looked gorgeous.
yeah.
They were definitely the two standouts for me. I've played only a few Kingdom Hearts games. I don't know what the hell's going on in that entire universe, so good for it. Yeah.
No one does. Berto, what about you?
With Ocarina, so it's my favorite game of all time, as you guys know. So seeing
Yeah.
it is like my childhood coming back to life, and I've never seen so many 40-year-olds being this happy for a video game. I swear,
Yeah.
all the sales are just going to be people between 30 and 40 years old. Because, to be honest, that's just the way it is. All the young kids, they're getting into the Breath of the Wild style, right? So,
I was gonna say
interesting to see how it sells.
a lot of younger gamers, Breath of the Wild was their first Zelda, and I think they would easily pick this up. Like
Oh, will they? This is
easily.
the thing.
It would be on their Christmas
Old game
list
is
for
old
sure.
though.
no, but
It's
I think
still a new
there's going to
Zelda game.
be,
They probably don't even know it's a remake.
but there might be a conflict. Yeah, there isn't actually. There's a meme I saw where someone's like, "Guys, this could be a remake from this old game from the 1998," and I'm
Oh
like, "Man,
God.
I'm that old now." But no, like my biggest concern is that you're used to doing whatever you want, right? And
Mm.
now, unless they incorporate some Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the
Nah,
Wild
I don't
style
want
into
that.
this,
Don't want that. Nah. It's too overwhelming for me.
You could do
I'm
that
just
in the
saying
next open world one. We don't need to do it with a
we don't
remake.
know.
Yeah.
But this is the thing: we don't know what this looks like yet. And I reckon in the next direct, when they said there's more down the track, they'll say how it's going to play. But I'm excited as absolutely. Ocarina of Time is fantastic. I'm excited to see how it looks like graphically. It is what it is. Like people complained about Wind Waker so
Yeah.
much when it came out, and
Mm.
then now you've got a more realistic one. People will complain because it's not like Breath of the Wild. Like everyone complains about Zelda's graphical style, and that's what I love about it because it
Mm.
does what it needs to do to get the job done. It doesn't need to make you happy. Just this is the way it's going to be. So no, very very keen. Probably my game of all four shows, obviously, because I'm a huge fan. But
Yeah.
very apprehensive of how quickly it's coming out, and I just want to see how much work they've made on this. Because if it's a full on remake, like Final Fantasy VII, how they did theirs,
Mm. It
I
could
just want to
be.
see how much work they've done. Because it could be really
Yeah.
simple, like it could be basic.
Well, we're definitely going to see it again soon because we're halfway through the year, and September seems pretty full.
When's it
November
coming out, guys?
is desolate right now, except for one big game.
I think
What
once
date is
Star
that?
Fox
November
is,
19th?
once Star Fox is out, I think they'll do a dedicated direct for it. That's my
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, they don't really like burying their other games before it comes out. Yeah, I'm most excited. Oh, I don't know actually. Final Fantasy Resonance really does look
That was pretty
really,
amazing.
really good. Kingdom Hearts 4 is definitely like the game I'm most excited for, but it also still wasn't a big look and we still don't have a release window, so I can't say that's my favorite. And Ocarina of Time is like the gaming community's sweetheart title.
Yeah,
Like it's one of the highest rated games ever, or if not, it is. I'm
it
not
is.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the highest rated game ever.
So I think that's going to sell very well. Because Nintendo Switch 2s have sold well, so why wouldn't this?
Bigger than
Um,
GTA.
If that comes out.
it's going to
No.
come out. It's
GTA is
coming
going to
out.
smash. Like, I love Ocarina, and I hope it sells a lot, but nothing's going to compare to GTA 6, I don't think.
But yeah.
Okay, can we quickly talk about the elephant in the room? Specifically the elephant in November, which is GTA 6.
Mm.
There's like it's kind of like there's a wolf in a pen of sheep, and GTA is the wolf, and the sheep are all like sparsed like around the wolf.
Yeah.
It's crazy how there's barely anything at the end of October and nothing major in December yet, and basically nothing rivaling GTA 6 in November except a Barbie game. Um,
Barbie will
it's
go
called
against
Yeah.
Barbie
Oppenheimer,
Oh my
Rewind.
GTA.
god.
Barbie don't give no shit.
It's the uh Barbenheimer of gaming. That's what it is. Um, do we think anyone? Okay, where do we think Ocarina's gonna? What month do we think Ocarina's gonna fall in?
October. Wait, when's GTA coming? Is that November, you said?
Middle of November.
November 19.
Well, I think you'd have to, because even we were listing dates, like you've already got Control and Silent Hill on September 24. And there's a bunch of other stuff listed already throughout September.
But no,
There
because
were
October's got Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. So that's its own title. They're not going to.
Oh, well, heaps of games are going to get out of the way for that one. You know what I mean?
Unless it changes. Unless they do a reveal and go, actually, no, we're going to do next year. For
Well,
well,
the
I
December's too
do.
late because they'd want to get
It's
out
too
before
late.
Black Friday.
When's Black Friday? End of
You
November?
saw you
I
saw
believe so.
Metroid flop when it was released in
Yeah.
December. I don't think they're
Terrible.
gonna put a
Oh,
major
yeah, 6
title.
copies I think it sold, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I reckon they should go against GTA. Like, honestly. And I think just turn it into one of those circumstances where everyone bought Doom and everyone bought Animal Crossing, like that. You know what I mean? Two of the biggest games on two very different platforms.
This might be a big
Like,
stretch. I reckon GTA is going to sell like 10 million copies in the first week, which is insanely a huge amount. I
Oh, yeah,
just
no,
don't think
that's
it's
going to do
smart
insane
for
numbers.
anyone. It's going to be the fastest selling video game of all time, full stop.
I think a game should at least come within that period of a couple of weeks beforehand because like not
Yeah, like
everyone
the
is
start of
GTA
November's
focused.
free. Yeah.
A lot of mainstream people, like that's probably the only thing they play is the GTA, but the hardcore gamers will be looking for something else. So I
Especially
think
if
there
it is
is a potential
Ocarina.
there. Yeah, that's what I mean. So
Mm.
what
It
if
and
can't
like
it's
be
Switch,
anything.
what if it's next
but
month?
Switch,
Like, what
well
if
with
it's one of
the
those? It's ready to go now. Here you go.
No.
with the Ocarina remake, they're not even getting GTA, are they, on a Switch 2?
I don't know
No,
the answer.
no way.
I
That
don't
would
know the
So,
never
answer.
run.
no,
The
but that's what
Switch
I
would
mean. So
explode.
technically, you could
Not
still have
yet.
Zelda appear throughout that time. Anyone that's got a Switch 2 and that's their main console, it doesn't matter to them if GTA is coming out because the only thing they're
That's
going to be playing will be Ocarina.
Yeah. They're just two very big titles that could
But
rival
it's
each
like
other.
big, but like GTA is like big in the mainstream, so it's just like
Yeah,
it's a completely
yeah,
different beast.
yeah. So we did have Echoes of Wisdom. I'm pretty sure that released in September when that came out. Um, but September still seems too big. But I don't think there's a Nintendo game coming out in September, unless I'm wrong. No,
I don't. I don't think September. I don't think Nintendo's worried about anything. To be honest, I
no,
think Nintendo
no,
always does
They
what
wouldn't even
Nintendo
know
does.
GTA
no,
exists. What do you
Yeah.
mean GTA?
No, but they wouldn't. They'd be like, how many
no.
Switch? Is it even a? Is this game just only for Switch 2? Do we know if it's
I
coming to
bel
the Switch?
I don't think it'll be on Switch. I think they're done with that.
Hmm. Depends how much they want to sell this game for.
I hope it's just Switch 2 because then it'll perform better, etc.
And how many Switch 2s are there now? Like 4 million?
Quite a lot.
I'm sure it's more than that.
I think it's like double figures millions, isn't it? Hold on, I'm gonna guess 19.
No way.
It's quite up
Oh,
there.
wait. No, actually, it would be. It's more than the Wii U. So that's like what?
So
8.
it's 19.86 million.
Oh,
That was
that's pretty good guess. That was
So
pretty good.
let's say 20
19.
million. Which is massive because it's only been out for 1 year.
So
And it probably
And it would
has
go
another
up.
5 or 6 years to go.
Switch 2 exclusive. You can only play it on the Switch 2. There's
Oh,
no
they
other
did
games
that with
coming out in November. They could be that ballsy to go release it in November.
they could. If anyone could rival, like if anyone gave no shits about GTA, it's Nintendo.
It'd be crazy, but yeah.
All right.
I think it would be one of those cases where they buy it both.
I mean, I will
said?
probably buy both.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Same. That's the problem. See, we've already got 3 copies done.
All right, let's wrap it up. Jamie, you have any more shout outs for games outside of these showcases?
Just to quickly, Deer and Boy, I think that was in the Wholesome Direct or whatever the hell they called that one. But very much my thing. It looks like a sad game. It's a beautiful looking game. It's got that sad, music throughout it. I like a good sad. So I'm all about that. The other one's Exodus. This is from some of the sort of original Mass Effect developers that have gone off from their own studio. Randomly dropped that they have Matthew McConaughey playing a character in the game. They released, there's like 25 minutes of gameplay of this thing. They mentioned it existed in the PC gaming show, so I actually didn't know it was even a thing until that. It sort of like looks like the gameplay of Andromeda with like the sort of story and squad mates of that original trilogy. So they really seem to be capturing Mass Effect vibes. And until I actually hear anything about the next Mass Effect from EA, which like I'm not gonna hold my breath on, I might get my fix with Exit.
Yeah. Nice. All right, let's quickly give our individual rankings of the showcases. I will go first. Number 1 for me is Summer Game Fest, only because Final Fantasy and Resident Evil have such a big chokehold on me. They're my 2 games of the whole weekend. Easily. Number 2, I would say, is the State of Play, because I do love God of War and Silent Hill, and I'm keen for Wolverine. 3 would be Xbox Game Showcase. Great games showcase, but not a lot of series that I've played. Apart from Spyro, I obviously played Halo back in the day, but I'm not that interested in going back to play it. And last, I'd have to say the Nintendo Direct, but not because it was bad. I reckon all of these were really strong showcases. It's just like every single showcase had like 2 or 3 games that I am super keen for. And unfortunately, Nintendo just had a bit too much bloat in the showcase amongst these big titles. So that's my ranking. Jamie.
So my order is Xbox. I thought it was phenomenal. Future game, Summer Games Fest next. Then State of Play, and then I would only be counting the last 15 minutes of the Direct. The rest of it was bad, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Birdo.
Pretty much the exact same thing as Jamie. Like,
Okay.
legit. Yeah. Except, like, the Direct was good. Just a lot of JRPGs, which I do want to shout out.
Yeah.
Xenoblade and everything. But, yeah. If it wasn't for Ocarina of Time and Kingdom Hearts, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cut that last 15 minutes, and then you'd be like sitting there leaving pretty disappointed, I feel.
But no, it was good. Good weekend.
Yeah.
Phenomenal weekend all up. Insane amount of games coming.
Yeah. All right. With that, that is the end of this week's episode of Not Another Update, a weekly news podcast by NextPlay Australia. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell us which showcase you enjoyed most and what game you are most excited for. And of course, stay tuned for Ready Up, our new podcast by us, where we chat hot topics, rank video games, play trivia, and more. And this week, we will be choosing our top games from the year 2000 to 2004. As always, thanks for listening. And until next time, gamers, bye.
Ciao.
Bye.